Alright, back again, Luke here. And today we've got out the old arcade shooting setup, and I figured we could put in this game here. Taito's Operation Tiger, second mission. So, let's pop this on and play some of that. Now, before we jump into the game here, something I wanted to share with you guys. Because this game is so extremely rare, I wanted to go through a couple of the settings and just show you what it all looks like, some of the differences between this and the first English version. This is the Japanese version, as you can see in the bottom. It says version 2.02J, and this is something that hasn't been released yet. I'm still in the process. I need to get the ROMs out of this one and get them all read up and then put them into MAME. But before I do that, I figured I'd show you what the game is all about and what it looks like. So, this is one of those games that is so rare that there isn't anything out there on it. I think maybe there's one other video, but as far as gameplay goes and the game itself, I think I'm one of the rare people who actually own this game. So, as you can see here, these are just the regular settings. There's nothing really different between this and the first English version. If we take a look at some of the configurations here, it just has the attract mode on and off. There's nothing that you can really change as far as graphics or the, you know, what is it? The hitbox detection. This, I'll explain that a little bit more when we go into the game, but if we jump in here, it's going to start up the same way as the original Operation Tiger did, but it does have some differences between this and the original one, or the English version. So, I mean, I'll let the intro roll through. It's not too long. It's pretty much the same as the other one. You'll notice all the text is in Japanese here.
Operation Tiger.
So there's our Operation Tiger second mission. We'll go ahead and press the start button on here. This is very similar to the original board as well. One thing that's different though is where it starts you off. You're kind of in a dogfight with all of these different helicopters, and at the beginning these are almost like a bonus round. It just gives you ammunition and you're trying to shoot down as many as you can. Very different from the original one where you start off in the jail or as a prisoner. This one starts you off almost similar to the last stage, but it just lets you shoot as many as you can, get as much life or get as many bombs and missiles and whatever as you can, and then it'll jump you into the game. Just like a little prologue to the game. But the other thing about this is it does give you choices as far as direction to go, and if you choose, like, for example, the right way, going to the right, it speeds up the game. I believe you don't play as long, so the game can be shorter or longer depending on which route you take. The other thing, too, is the dialogue is very, very minuscule. Like, you'll hear a few couple of phrases here and there, but other than that, there's not really much speaking in the Japanese version. The music is almost the main point for this one. Like, the background is just filled with music. And it's also filled with a lot of, well, I guess we'll go right. A lot of sound effects, but other than that, it's just really kind of a little bit bland. It seems like a somewhat inferior version to the English version. The music order that they play in as well is totally different. Like, it's almost like on a shuffle. Probably hard to hear here because of the noise in the background. But you'll also notice that each one of the characters has like a hitbox around them, similar to like a Virtua Cop. Whereas the first version doesn't have that. They're pretty much just standing by themselves. You have to try and hit them as close as you can or get near them with the missiles or whatnot. But this one actually has a little hitbox around them, which is different. But I honestly think that this one is a bit more inferior because of the lack of the story. The sound effects take over most of the game. There aren't many voice dialogues in the game, just one here and there. And then the hitboxes around this, I don't know. For me, I kind of prefer the games without these little kind of targeted areas. It seems a little bit easier to get into, a little bit cooler, but man, and to each his own. But all you can hear is just kind of the music in the background and then the and that's it. So I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me, but hopefully decent enough. So yeah, this game does exist. It's one that was thought to be one of those mysterious titles that nobody had ever seen in person, but it had kind of heard about. And that being said, it's not exactly the most fun. I mean, there are definitely better games out there than this sequel. And in fact, I really don't know if this is a sequel. It feels like what they've done for the second mission is they've just done a ROM shuffle as well. So you have some of the stages that are a little bit earlier. You have the option to choose different stages, whereas the first one, it was a little bit more of like an on-rail shooter going along with the story. This one just really doesn't talk a lot. You just feel like you're just randomly shooting. It's not a bad game by any means. I mean, it still is fun and quirky and whatnot, but it just, I think with the dialogue, it gives it that extra flair. Makes it a little bit cooler to get into. And I'm really a bit surprised as to why they never added the dialogue in Japanese. I mean, I understand why it wouldn't be in English, because probably the English one wouldn't be so preferable, but just not having any dialogue pretty much whatsoever, just sound effects and music in the background, really takes away from the game a bit. Running out of lives here. I've kept the volume a little bit low here, so just in case the sounds of the "you're gonna die" sounds like right now start to get too much. But as you can see, most of it's all text right now. It's not in any sort of like spoken dialogue. But it's a little bit neat to take a look at some of the differences between these lost games. As far as the difficulty goes, too, I believe this one feels a little bit easier than the other ones. I mean, that may be just me, but easier in the sense that there's not a lot of, I don't know. The other, maybe without the tracking on the characters, like here, as you can see, like the hitboxes, maybe that's something that made it a little bit more difficult in the first version. But tried to get the ROMs out and get them dumped. That way others can give it a shot. I mean, still the MAME emulation for this specific hardware is quite rough. I don't think the music is working right, and after talking to a couple of the MAME devs, they mentioned that they still needed some board scans or so in order to get this to run properly. So it may be a little while before this is 100% up and working, but at least the ROMs will be there, hopefully, for anyone to try once they get the system up and running better. Oh, jeez. I didn't think he was going to shoot from behind there. Keep continuing on through here just to show you what the game looks like, but yeah, I mean, feel free to give your input on this compared to the original version or the English version. What similarities or what differences you notice, whether you're a bigger fan of this one or you like the original one better. I'm sure there may be some difference in opinions here, but if you ever do come across the original, I think it's definitely a game to give a shot. The second mission is just too close to the original one. It doesn't really feel like an actual sequel. It just feels like they've just changed the ROM order, so unfortunately. And that may just be one of those regional differences, like it's the actual game itself, but they just decided to change the title a little bit just to make it for the Japanese version, or the Japanese market. But yeah, you'll notice here it's just text, so. Not sure exactly how far we'll play through this one, but let's see, which way to go. I guess we could go to the left. Like I mentioned before, it's more like a choose-your-own-adventure than anything. This is the Jeep stage. This one's always fun. James Bond kind of music going on there. But yeah, regardless, it is a fun game to play here. And really hope that the MAME devs will be able to get up the knowledge or get the parts or the tools that they need in order to complete the emulation for this game. That way others can give it a shot as well, instead of having to look through it through my perspective or through my camera. But in a way, this is a little bit of kind of historical preservation, I suppose. You can see that the game does exist, and it is running. But this will probably be the last of the Operation Tiger series here. I've made quite a few videos on Operation Tiger, from a tracked mode to gameplay videos and repair videos on them and how to wire them up and everything everything in the moon there to try and show off these boards, but I think this is probably the last one I'll do here. Come on. Come on. Well, hopefully these videos aren't too boring for you guys. Get a little bit of entertainment out of them. Oh, come on, that should have been a hit. The graphics are really impressive, I think, for its time. It is not a bad game at all. There's a bit of some repetition going on here, though. Come on. Definitely the rolling around here, keeping up with the guns will keep you on your toes. Aim over here, aim over there. Start to get a little bit motion sick here watching all the... It's all the swinging around going on. Coming up towards the end of this stage here. But yeah, as you can see for yourself, this is the way the game is. But just want to give you guys a bit of a look at what Taito's Operation Tiger second mission looks like for the old arcade. And it's a neat game to play, but definitely prefer the English version, hands down. Nevertheless, that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. Watching some Operation Tiger, second mission, madness going on. Looks like I missed one person there, so. And this is actually maybe this is the last boss, I believe. Yeah, this is, I think, the last stage here. I don't know if we'll be able to complete it in time, but see if we can get through this really quickly. Keep going. Come on. should be the end of the game. Move the gun out of the way. But as you can see there's a bit of a unexpected playthrough for you guys. And thanks again for watching the old Operation Tiger here, and hopefully we'll try to get some more unique games or some other fun gameplay videos up here when we come across them.